Hey there, it's Anne. I just came from the exercise class that I'm doing, which is really fun. It's bringing me more into my core. And that's a little bit of a side note, but it's related to what I'm here to talk with you about today. So our topic today is manifesting more with mediumship. And a lot of people, when they hear that, they might think, oh, okay, so mediumship means talking to a spirit guide. And so if I can find the right spirit guide to give me the right advice, then I'll get from point A to point B and I'll get what I want in my life. So while that can happen, that's not what I'm here to talk with you about today. So mediumship, if you watch my previous video about mediumship, the way I view mediumship is simply the ability of you, the spirit that you are, which is the part of you that's eternal, that goes on beyond this body and that was here before this body, that you, that spark of light that makes you who you are, that's the mediumship is your ability to bring that spark of light that you are fully into the body. And that in and of itself is the greatest act of manifestation that you have done and will ever do, right? You manifested yourself. You manifested this body and this life. You might think, well, it was chance or it was because of my mother or father or whatever. But I'm here to tell you that was you. That was your artistry. That was your creative juju that brought you into this body, first and foremost. Most of us come into this body. I mean, it's a little awkward being a baby. I just watched my daughter go through this 2 years ago, trying to figure out how to make the body work, right? How do you move these arms and these legs and go to the bathroom and learn how to, eat and nurse and all the things and burping. And that takes a little bit. But in general, babies and children come into this world like wide open, lights turned on, nothing held back, and not repressing who they are. And even though babies go in and out of the body because they sleep a lot, when they're in, they're there, they're present. Have you ever noticed that? Even children, they're so much more present than we adults sometimes. So my goal in mediumship class, I never quite thought about it like this, is to really bring you back to that childlike state that you have, that, the part of you that, or the how would I say, learning how to find that presence once again. You, the spark of light that you are in your body. From there, we can talk to guides and so on. But in terms of manifesting, if you've ever had trouble manifesting something in your life, I would bet that more than likely, it's maybe not 100%, but more than likely, you didn't manifest because you weren't fully home to receive what you asked for. So my little joke is you ask and you shall receive. That's, the saying we've all heard, ask and you shall receive. But if you're not home to receive, UPS delivers next door. So I remember, for example, a few years ago, maybe a little longer than a few now, 2008, I was really desiring to get pregnant. At the time I was with a man who didn't want a child. Right then my sister got pregnant without really trying. So, there's something to it. And a lot of people have shared these experiences. It's like the close call, like the near miss. It looked like you were going to get what you want, and then boom, it went to somebody else, whether it was the job or the guy or the lottery numbers or whatever it was that you got so close to, but then it was just beyond your grasp. So why is that? For so many of us, we put our energy outside of ourselves. We put our energy into the future. We think it's out there somewhere. We think it's something external, and that could be a spirit guide too. We might think, oh, if I could only, talk to a guide and find somebody to give me the answer, then I'd manifest. And usually the opposite is the case. If you're approaching it that way, you don't manifest very much. And if you've ever known those people that are, if you're in a spiritual circle, and if you're not into, if you haven't, if this is all new to you, this still works, by the way, but let's just say perhaps some of you listening or watching this video have been in spiritual metaphysical circles, and those people that say, they're telling me this and they're telling me, and whether it's somebody giving a reading and it's all about what they're being told or what they're being shown, but there's no context for who are they talking to, and is that even good for you? Is that even true for you? Especially with predictions, I'm suspect. And I received some readings that were predictive in nature. Oh, they're telling me that you're going to do this. They're telling me that you're going to do this. This is going to happen, and a lot of it never happened. And I can say, well, it was useful because it opened me up, it awakened me to possibilities, but it's also kind of, I feel cautious about recommending that approach, whether you're learning to do those types of readings or receive those types of readings, because it takes away our free will, and it actually, in some ways, it can sabotage the goal, which will really cement this in for you. Cement is a kind of funny word, but we'll really lock this in or anchor this potential that you have that's amazing for you to manifest. So if you think about it, the very first thing that you manifested was your own life, and we've all done this. How did you do that? You did that by getting into your body. So if you like to manifest love, money, career success, creative success, the more you can be grounded, the more you can learn to be in your body, the more likely it's going to happen because you're home to receive it. You can create space to receive it. You're calm. It's like getting to a meeting early or getting to a class early. You're not rushing. And a lot of people that are natural mediums, by the way, they love to rush and overcommit. But if you can, imagine getting somewhere early, there's spaciousness. You can ease into it. There's space to have conversations. There's space to go to the bathroom. And you get more out of the class, or you get more out of the meeting. You're able to show up more fully. So I like to approach life like this. And I've certainly had those patterns too of overextending and rushing because I'm a natural medium. So if you're a natural medium, few things to know. And I have a quiz on my website, the Are You Psychic quiz, by the way, if you want to check it out on floweringsoul.com. Flowering, S-O-L, like the sun. I'll put that at the end of this video or in the notes on this video. You can take my quiz and find out if you're a natural medium, clairvoyant, healer, and whatnot. Mediums tend to be creative types. They tend to perhaps be moody. They may have addictive tendencies. They love caffeine and sugar. Natural mediums tend to sometimes feel spaced out. Whether that's like, it could go different ways. It could be like really excited, expanded, scattered all over the place, right? Or it could be like, oh my gosh, I woke up and I don't know where I am, who I am, what I'm doing today. But those all are signs that you're not fully in. Whereas when you're fully in your body, you're anchored, you're clear, and you're running your own spiritual vibration and spiritual consciousness. That's what's directing your body, your emotions, and everything else. Okay, so in my mediumship program, which is coming up, Awaken Your Mediumship, starting April 22nd, what I teach is first and foremost to get in touch with that amazing spiritual being that you are, and then looking at all the ways you have gone out of your body since you were a kid and you were present as a kid. What's caused you to go out, and what are your habits of going out, and what energy has come in when you were out? Because being out of your body, it's like leaving your house. Excuse me, it's like leaving your house, going on vacation for a month, and leaving the doors wide open and all the lights on, and then coming home and finding like homeless people sleeping there and abandoned, pizza boxes and beer cans and cigarette stubs all over your house, right? So a lot of our bodies are in rough shape because we haven't been in them. And usually we check out because of pain, but there's also a biochemical aspect and a genetic aspect where mediumship is inherited, so to speak. My father was a very big medium and very highly capable, creative being and very magnetic. And he is, by the way, he's still alive when I say was, but I grew up learning mediumship, and I would watch him go in and out of the body. And he used to drink. And so, when somebody drinks, when I mentioned mediums can have addictive tendencies, somebody drinks and goes out of the body, their spirit, checks out, and some other spirit often comes in. And that's why when people drink, all of a sudden they're really funny, or they're really obnoxious or nasty. And, this personality shifts, and you don't have to drink to have that kind of personality shift, by the way. And a lot of natural mediums have it. It doesn't have to be a clinical, psychologically diagnosed or psychiatric situation, but there's shades, there's gradations of it. So I would watch my father's spirit leave, and I would be like, where'd he go? And then he'd come back in the morning, and it was confusing, but now that I look back as an adult, it was perfect for my path because I learned to recognize spirit and whether somebody was in or out and what the effects were. So it was a really great education. I don't want to repeat it, but it was a great education. And now he's sober and he works out 6 days a week. So about working out, it's a great way to get into the body too. So people that are natural mediums can work out, they can watch their sugar, they can watch, anything that's addictive, coffee, alcohol, drugs, anything like that is poison for a medium. And just to work with their, balance the creativity with something that grounds them and anchors them. So I've done body practices all my life. Nobody really taught me to do that. Nobody told me I was a medium growing up. But for some reason, a lot of kids get exposed to sports or, different physical activities. For me, it was ice skating, figure skating, and then it was martial arts and yoga and dance. So I've been fortunate in hiking to do these things to balance out all my spiritual practices. So back to the Awaken Your Mediumship program. I'm teaching you first and foremost how to recognize the infinite amazing spirit you are. Learn how to bring that one more, yourself, more into your body. Channel yourself first and foremost. And then as you become more aware of that, you can recognize, oh, when I step out of my body, I can take a look around. And I'm training you too in seeing and sensing spiritual energy, which we can all do. It's just as simple as imagining something. Like if I say, imagine a red apple, I bet you could do it. So if you could do that, you can imagine a spirit guide or an angel or a master. And you might pick out, oh, this one has a really nice energy and I'm going to bring that one in and I'm going to teach you how to do that safely. And then you may get guidance and you may manifest in your life. But the biggest thing I've seen, and I did a year-long mediumship program and have taught many people about mediumship since then, the biggest thing I see that makes a difference is when we get more into our body, so much more can happen. We're there to receive so much more. And there's ways that you can learn that through meditation and these techniques that we'll be going over in the Awaken Your Mediumship program. It starts with a 4-week intro, Meditation 101, and then from there, we get into an 8-week series on mediumship, and you will learn to channel and you will learn to speak with spirit guides and your ancestors, and you'll learn to do this for others. And the biggest payoff is yourself learning how to get into your own body. And for me, I remember every time when I came home from my mediumship classes, and the way I did it, it's different from the program I'm teaching, but when I studied mediumship, I had a Friday night and then Saturday morning class, and it was in a different town, and then I would come home on Saturday afternoon. Sometimes all I could do was sleep because it was so physical. It will change your body. It will change you physically. And people would look different in a positive way, because it's like kicking all that energy out that you've been channeling that wasn't you. Those homeless people that were in your house for 30, 40, 50 years when you weren't home, they got to go. And suddenly, oh, it's like you redecorated the house and the lights look different and it's cleaner and you're more there. And each of us is an amazing, unique being. And I know you are, and I'd love to see what you can manifest this spring. All right. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you have a beautiful day.